This is it. It's the grand final of the 2022 Joyce Lester Shield for the Under-23 Women's National Championship, and it's the old foes going head-to-head, Queensland versus New South Wales. We've seen these two teams play earlier today in the 1v2 Majors semi-final. It was Queensland victorious, so they have home dugout advantage, meaning that they will field first and bat last. James Harris here, coming to you from magnificent Ghanaland in the Adelaide Plains, West Beach in South Australia, and joining me is Anthony Weatherstone for the commentary of the grand final.
Hi James, hi everybody. Yep, this is the game that we thought we were probably going to get. The two top teams going through, the power of Queensland's offence and the pitching depth of New South Wales defence.
So the teams are going through their lineups here, the announcements. We'll go through the defensive lineups when they take the field. So once we get through this, there'll be the national anthem and then we'll be underway. You got to give favouritism to Queensland. They went through first. But you know, you just look at the ladder placings, the runs for and against between these two teams. And you know, the defence of as New South Wales coaches are being announced, the defence for New South Wales, 21 runs against, Queensland 28 runs against. But Zunker, who is their ace, is starting this game, and as is Rickson, their ace for New South Wales. Offensively, 57 runs for Queensland and 42 for New South Wales. They truly were the best two teams in the competition for the week, with the two teams with the most runs for and the two teams with the least runs against.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and we've seen Zunker throw the pivotal game today. She came on at a crucial time in the semi-final where New South Wales had a run on, and she just completely locked that game down and put it to bed. We saw Rickson do a similar thing in the South Australian game in the prelim. So obviously Zunker's had the advantage of a couple of hours rest, whereas Rickson's basically come off of a game only half an hour ago. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays into it, remembering of course that New South Wales have done a great job in managing the pitching loads. So yeah, look, obviously quality pitches as you'd expect at this time in the tournament, but it's the hitting of Queensland, led by Rihanna Kemp, as we're just about to have the national anthem.
Well, there you go. There is the Australian national anthem prior to the 2022 Joyce Lester Shield Grand Final. Players don't know what to do now. Let's go.
Yeah.
As they head off, they walk up to acknowledge the umpires and one another before we get started for the Joyce Lester Shield. So presentations to follow the game won't be live streamed if you were wondering, but the results will be up fairly shortly afterwards. There's some umpiring presentations, individual awards, and then the presentation of the Joyce Lester Shield by the
you will get a
Hall of Famer herself.
Might try and get an interview quickly with one of the players from the final.
From the winning team, sure will. We'll hustle out there, so we'll join the celebration, so to speak, pull a player aside, and as Queensland move into the centre of the diamond
something that the Heat did at the Gillies Shield, and the 23's have done it here as well. They've always come through. So
well, we've got the opportunity then to announce the umpires and scorers for the game. Darren Clark behind plate, Deb Keogh at first base, and Brett Tyler at third base. And colouring in the circles is Sue Norris and Fiona Goffer. Good luck to the officials for the grand final. There she is. Chelsea Zunker to pitch for Queensland. She's been a marvel over the last month, playing 18s, Gillies, and now the Joyce Lester Shield.
Pitched the winning grand final in the 18s, was dominant in her 7 innings of work there, and did some good things in the open women's. And
yeah, we'll go around the rest of the defence as well for Queensland. Matisse Sorbello is catching over at first base, Tallulah Sivanasiva. At the pivots, we have the Kurihara sisters, Moy and Hirari. At third base is Amaya Foxover, and outfield left to right, Monique Smith, Rhiannon Kemp, and Tanika Harris. Plenty of depth in the dugout. Taylor Evans is the DP, and then got Emily Solomon, Chantel Finlay, Michaela Facer, Savannah Rater, Mackenzie Peebles, and Jessica Rhodey on the bench for Queensland. Here is the leadoff. It's the designated player for New South Wales, Alyssa Connell. First pitch of the Joyce Lester Shield Grand Final for 2022. This has been 2.5 years, nearly, it's close to 3 years in the making. The last Lester Shield was played in July 2019. 2 months shy of 3 years.
And both teams experiencing something that we haven't seen a lot of in the last 4 days, and that's sunlight. Might be a different dynamic on the teams at the moment. So
swing and a miss. Well, we got there. In the end, we got there. Rain threatened. Day 1, day 2, day 3. Here we are on day 4. We got through two full rounds
and a full finals.
In 3 days, we got through 2 full rounds, a strikeout on the outside edge, and it's the perfect start for Zunker.
Yep. Some early dominance there, striking out the lead off, looking. Never want to see anybody going down looking in that regard, but she's that good, that edge that she works.
Amber Frost hits 2 for New South Wales. We've seen her play a few roles over the last couple of days. DP, bench player, shortstop. But bats high in the order. Seen her put down a couple of bunts as well.
Zonka in the 90s early.
New South Wales fans would be absolutely stoked with our broadcast. This is the 6th game in a row that we've broadcast featuring New South Wales.
Well, can't be calling us biased. I mean, SA didn't get their first game to the last game of the minor round.
I might have to send their new CEO
an invoice.
Stuart Clark an invoice. Zunker. Chelsea Zunker, the pitcher for Queensland.
We've been saying it wrong for 3 days, or?
I said Zunker and I was just told Zunker, so Chelsea Zunker.
Okay.
Ground ball to third base. Foxover is quick, and she fires it across to Sivanasiva for the second out. Good defense from the Queenslanders, right on the line on the Eastern replay.
Yeah, there was an opportunity to maybe just let it see if it was going to roll out, but she did the right thing. She played it, felt she could make a play. brings the powerful Brianna Evans to the plate from North Shore.
Plenty of background noise coming from the first base dugout. And when you're told pronunciations because you've been saying them incorrectly, you like to look into it. And I've just done a quick Google search, a German name. Swing and a miss for Zunker.
That's a very good start for Zunker, if I've said that right.
Don't say the E.
Don't say
Zunker.
Zunker. Zunker?
Sorry, don't say the R. I said that wrong. Don't say the R. Just finish it with the E.
Okay.
Topographic name for someone living by a crag. From South Germany dialect, Z-U-N-K-E. Zunke.
She's going to be called Chelsea for the rest of the game, the way we're going. So, but look, for her, a really positive start. 2 strikeouts, good second strikeout against the powerful Evans, throwing hard and up. So that's a perfect start for Queensland. In the role reversed this morning of this game, New South Wales came hard out of the blocks against Queensland, jumped early. So Queensland have done well to weather that early storm, and now they get to see if they can return the favour. Grace Rickson, who's pitched the game just previously against South Australia, super impressive. And here she is backing straight up, but being managed really well by the New South Wales coaching staff. So obviously great changes of pace and works the outside edge really well.
All right, well, here is the New South Wales defensive lineup. Grace Rickson will pitch to Bella Lorenzo. Dinah, the captain, at first base. Gordon at 2. Frost at short. Evans at 3rd. And outfield left to right is Moore, Conacher and Jensen. Connell is the designated player. And pretty good talent in the dugout. McKean, Murphy, Orsini, Sheen, Wild and Yari. I'm sure both teams will go to the dugout when required.
Well, Coach Johannesson, we saw in the opening night, made 4 changes before in the blink of an eye, and they changed the game on its head. So he's not afraid to go to his bench and make those changes. Also not afraid to send his runners too. Queensland been super aggressive throughout the tournament.
Kurihara is the leadoff for Queensland. This is the player that won an award a couple of 23 tournaments ago, so she's been around for a while. Smashes this one, rides the line into left field. The chase is on from Moore as Kurihara turns. She's in a little bit of strife if the throw's on the money. High tag, and Evans just checks in to make sure she's okay. Slides into 3rd, and we've got a lead-off triple for Queensland.
So, yeah, Moy was the MVP of the tournament in 2018, in the same year that Gabby Plain was dominant as the pitcher. And
Gabby Plain's gone on to
pretty well. So she's in good company there, Moy. Been good this tournament. Was good for the Heat last week as well. That crowding New South Wales defence has once again come all the way down.
Hira Kurihara, the 2-hitter in the left-handed batter's box. The left fielder's in, centre field's in, right field's in. Second base is back. And Dinah has to retreat back from halfway down the line to cover first. So the throw from Frost is not in time, and the run scores from 3. It's perfect from Queensland at the moment. It was a 3-up, 3-down defensive innings. 2 hits to start the bottom of the first, and 1 run scores.
Yeah, we've been talking a little bit about the depth of where shortstop's been fielding through the tournament because of the condition of that area. But the important thing about that slap shot there by Hiriara was the fact that she slapped it hard into the ground to create that bounce, which is, of course, what slowed it on its travel out to shortstop. So Moy was always going to score as soon as that ball had gone past the pitcher. a great start by Queensland, and
Kemp,
just keeps it rolling.
she's their gun. A single out to left field. She'll move to second on the throw. Advancing Kurihara to third. Intentions are shown from Queensland in that buzzing. Look how happy they are. Timeout called. Let's regroup here, says the New South Wales defence. 3 hits to start off the bottom of the first inning.
2019 defending champions Queensland from when the last tournament was played for the under-23s up in Redlands. Went through the tournament 10-0. Dropped the first game here, and since then have just been building as they go. So super impressive, really positive start. And still none out for New South Wales, so Rickson's going to have to work real hard.
This one gets by Rickson, and Frost can't do anything except hold the ball. Smith's aboard.
Yeah, again, I think she's just too deep and short at the moment with runners in scoring position like that. I understand the argument with, you know, trying to make sure you're defending that part of the lineup. But with these super fast Queensland runners, I mean, as soon as this ball's hit into play, they're basically halfway there. So
Four hits for Queensland from the first 4 batters, and Kath Horton calls timeout this time to have a word to the defence. I've been sent a couple of photos of Emily Gordon and Grace Rickson playing in their junior days. Thanks to Diane for sending that through. Very, you know, I'm not sure if I can get it on the screen or not, but there you go. It's, wow. Love the backstory, huh?
yeah, yeah. And the pressure doesn't stop.
Yeah, Fox over now. In the box for Queensland. Runners at 1 and 3. 2 runs have scored. Runner takes off and a hit and run. This one's going to go to the fence. 2 runs will score off the batter. Fox over. She turns 2. That'll do, she says. I'm happy with it. 2 RBI double.
Wow. When we spoke to the coaches Wednesday night, they all highlighted the importance of what a great shot that is. Deep to the fence. They all talked about the importance of that finishing top 2, the opportunity to get that straight through game, having to do 3 games back to back after a heavy tournament such as this.
Well, we've seen this a couple of times already. Rickson moves over to first base. Dinah comes out of the game, and the pitcher that replaces her comes in, and she'll go into the hitting lineup. Looks like it's Murphy, Bridie Murphy. Who pitched earlier today.
From Penrith City.
Bullpen.
Orsini's gone up into the bullpen. So Bridie Murphy committed to the Ball State University.
Is that right?
One of those players that in the lockdowns that New South Wales experienced through last year and before the preparation would ring up about always asking coaching staff about advice on hitting, pitching, just constantly evolving, wanting to be better all the time. So, popular member of the team.
Tallulah Sivanasiva wearing the number 23, 18 years of age. Murphy's up around 96. Timeout has been called. There is what was that ball in the field of play? Eagle eye from Darren Clark, the plate umpire. Well picked up. Sivanasiva fouls that one off, and Anthony, can you believe it? It is 4-0. There's none out. It's the 6th batter. There's a shot of the crowd. A couple of the SA players watching on. It's stunned us, hasn't it?
It's
so much so that you only made a noise. You didn't even say a word.
I was just trying to think of how to interpret it. Remember in the morning game though, Queensland came out, scored the first 2 real quick, and then all of a sudden New South Wales.
Ground ball to Evans. She's been good at 3. Foxover's got to take on the arm of Rickson, and she wears one in the back for her troubles. That's the first out, but Foxover does advance.
Yeah, and New South Wales scored 4 straight back, so still very early days. So it's obviously adding a significant amount of pressure to New South Wales, and obviously going to change their game plans. But
swing and a miss on the new hitter. It's Harris to the plate.
Queensland have just been hitting so well all tournament.
High and out of the zone. Harris playing right field in this game. Gets a piece of the ball. It will go to dead center. Conacher takes a catch. Foxover is tagging up the throw. Not in time. Make it 5 for Queensland. Here's the Eastern replay. Just jogging on the spot, trying to get some momentum. Knows the importance, Conacher. So, wow. 5 earned runs from the first 5 batters who all got aboard from hits before Sivanasiva grounded out, advancing the runner to third. Then Harris brings in that run. It's 2 out.
It's a super impressive start by Queensland.
Well, this is what happened to South Australia. And they were able to stem the flow of runs and fight back one at a time. And they got back into the game, but it was too little too late.
Yep.
The 5 they gave up in the first had done the damage. Is it a different story? It's the grand final. It's a different opponent. Ground ball, shortstop for Frost, and the throw's high. Rickson had to jump to get the ball first. It's not going the way of the Blue Bloods today.
No, I think the difference would be Chelsea in the middle for Queensland. That's going to make it significantly hard. I mean, when she came on this morning, that stopped the flow of runs.
Batter number 9.
It's just that ability to maintain that. So
didn't land in time. Very close play. Sorbello's the hitter and catcher for Queensland. Very close call. That last play. 2 out. 2-0 count. So good hitters count here for a 9-hitter. And coach Johannesson knew it, refusing to let up.
Yep, he's going for it. He's been, as I said, he's been super impressive this week. He's rung the changes, picked great lineups, managed his start. He's managed his pitches really well.
Not only is he a fantastic coach, he pulled me aside just before we had a good couple of minute chat. He is preparing for a grand final, and he gave us a little bit of time, and he was the one that pulled me aside, actually. So magnificent human being as well.
Yeah, he is.
So strike out for the third out.
It's one of those conversations when you're cold calling a coach on the eve of a national tournament. They got no idea who you are, and you're just about to ask them some questions about softball, and got the feeling that if we were down the local over a schooner having a bit of a chat, that conversation could have finished at 2 or 3 in the morning, 10 or 12 later, and we wouldn't have finished. You know, it was just an amazing conversation. It was. You can obviously see from his experience. You know, he's obviously coached the Heat before, but he's just brought a super positive mindset to this team, and they are full of confidence. Their offense is aggressive. You know, one of the only teams that is really challenged on the base paths as far as stealing goes. You know, he's really tried to make every advantage work for them. But as you saw, just the smart coaching there of hitters count, 2 out, runner at first. So on a hitter's count, he's called a hit and run. You know, he's trying to force the play still, even though he's 5-0 up in the first of a national championship final. So, no, hats off to him.
All right. Response from New South Wales is going to be important, and well, who better than Grace Rickson? Hasn't she had an outstanding last 9 days? Gilly Shield started 9 days ago.
Yeah, her first 2 at-bats in the SA game were both quality. 2 deep shots on the right side. Just Torpy's called out, wanting the Queensland team to bring back the Joyce Shield.
Rickson pops it up to the right side, and Harris has a little trouble negotiating it. She's going to cruise through to third. That's the response the New South Wales team wanted.
She is elite, Grace Rickson. Absolute gun. Again, no real movement at the plate. She just sits there. The grounds crew there doing the right thing, having a very well-earned rest, those legends. But great base running.
Great shot. Conacher gets an outside pitch, drives it to the left field, scores Rickson. Back-to-back hits to start off the second inning.
Well, you knew that New South Wales would reply, and that's great left-handed batting. Again, putting the ball to space and scoring a run.
Here's Murphy hit by pitch. Gee, she right up the front of the box. She wore it. She wore it in her first at-bat earlier today as well.
A great, I was just thinking there, that's a really well called timeout there by the third base player. A Maya Foxover, because there's some momentum here. There seems to be something happening in the first or second pitch at the moment, and New South Wales are up and about. So Foxover's done the right thing there and just told the infield, all right, let's reset, let's get back on the hitter.
That was the Eastern replay of Conacher RBI single. She moves to second on that hit by pitch to Murphy. Also at the front of the box is Lorenzo. Shows bunt. Goes foul.
Yeah, none out, and obviously runners at 1 and 2. There's an opportunity, and whilst you're still chasing 4 runs, because it's the second, you've got time to play that short game and just try and work on getting 1 back, 2 back, putting yourself in that position, especially with the hitting to come.
Foul ball. Tried to pull out, but just at the last moment was collected. 0-2 count.
Important job here. She really wants to make sure that we're advancing those runners and setting it up for her teammates to follow.
Sanka just going straight back to work after giving up 2 hits. A hit by pitch, comes back with a strikeout.
Yeah,
number 3.
That's that momentum. That's sometimes that you get caught trying to do something. Just execute the basics as well as you can.
Gordon. Fascinating, I'm fascinated by the left-handed second base. I have seen a couple of left-handed second base in my time. Jack O'Loughlin's name comes to mind, a baseball pitcher for the Detroit Tigers, but he got his start in softball and he plays second base as a lefty. Oh, good piece of the ball. It flies out to left field. Smith tracking it. Full stretch, takes the catch. Both runners will advance because she took that going back with the flight of the ball, so no weight or base to make a strong throw off. And there's a good shot of the catch from the Eastern replay. Got plenty of it, Gordon.
Yeah, and just shows you the importance of the at-bat before. The ability to execute that particular play would have advanced those runners into 2 or 3, and New South Wales would now be 5-2 with a runner on 3. And now here we are still at 5-1.
Timeout called.
Good resetting of the goals here by Coach Johannesson.
Jensen comes in to run for the catcher. Look at those beautiful specimens over at the German Shepherd Dog Club. Yeah, courtesy runner for Murphy is Jensen. I said for the catcher, but it's Murphy the pitcher.
97 kilometres an hour inside. Good called strike, good hard pitch. And then takes away, high and away on the other side. So call in a good game so far. Chelsea executing those pitches well.
Olivia Moore, there's 2 out. Has a 0-2 count. Chases, strikeout. Sanka has 2 strikeouts in each of the first 2 innings for a tally of 4. New South Wales lead off the inning with back-to-back hits off the back of Rixon's triple, and they get 1 back. It is 5-1. We're in the middle of the second, and it looks like Queensland, well, they don't have it all their own way as New South Wales find a way to score a run off the very impressive Chelsea Sanka.
Yeah, positive things there for New South Wales. Whilst they didn't maximise the most of the opportunity, was the fact that they did have base runners and they did make contact. So
thanks to those watching at home, interstate, around the world. Don't forget to comment on the Facebook live stream. Let us know where you're watching from and who your local club is for the Softball Australia Club Finder on the Softball Australia website. All the states have it on their website as well. And no doubt Jess Torpy, as you mentioned, who wants to bring the Joyce Lester Shield home. That's Joyce's niece.
how's that?
Jess Torpy, yeah. She's got a mongrel of a husband, but she's a beautiful person, Jess Torpy. Muller, as they call her. She was a draft player for the SA Stars for a couple of years before she fought her way into the Queensland side, and one of the country's finest left-hand hitters.
Yes, it was a familiar name.
Kurihara is doing as she pleases in this game. First Rickson, now Murphy. It was a triple to lead off the first. It is a single to lead off the second.
That's super impressive lead-off batting. Opens up the game for Queensland, gives Coach Johannesson plenty of opportunities. Left-hand hitter, Kurihara. We know that she can bunt, we know that she can slap, we know that she can hit. And with the speed on first and none out, gives him all the options.
That's a great signal from Dion.
And I'm not sure what the last signal was, but I'm super interested to see what happens.
Two strikes on Hira. Had a single, an infield single to shortstop. In her first at-bat, doesn't chase up, but good location from the Queensland battery.
Yeah, Bridie Murphy's done a great job coming in.
Swing and a miss, that one dropping away, and a little bit of pace off it as well, 84.
Yeah, 96 up on the last pitch, 84 down on the next one, so good batting. Again, another situation of none out, runner at first, and the execution of that next step.
Kemp, first pitch swinging. Now, Murphy did come in for Rickson. Struck out the last batter of the first inning. Gave up a hit to Kurihara and then struck out the last batter she faced. So 2 strikeouts from the last 3 batters. But she's been going to be tested here from Rhiannon Kemp. I've seen nothing but class from this player.
Yeah, she's been the hot batter of the tournament for sure. So
stolen base attempt. She'll slide in easily. Very quick around the bases. It was a textbook figure 4 slide into second. Let's have a look at the Eastern replay. Kemp was protecting, showing bunt to start with. Now she gets to swing away to bring in that run. Check. No swing. They've been asked to ask the umpires. Clark's got it right. Supported by Kehoe at first. Fouls it off. Now, we have mentioned the similarities between the umpires and the New South Wales uniforms. I was just told in the break between games, it's easy to tell them apart because the players have got numbers on their bat. Kemp, bat on ball. It goes out to centre field. Conacher is moving back with the flight, so the runner able to tag up and move to third. That's dangerous because she's quick. Let's have a look at the Eastern replay of the catch. Didn't do too much wrong there. Just the piece of the ball from Kemp was just too good.
yeah, she didn't even get to follow through with it. I'm not entirely sure that you can see the numbers from 180 feet away from the outfield, but that's another thing. But still danger here for New South Wales. Got Speedy Wheels at third base.
Smith, one of 2 infield singles in the first inning, both with RBIs.
Wow.
Her day just keeps getting better. Another RBI single, this time to centre field for Monique Smith.
Well, we've been talking about 1-2 punches all week. You know, SA were lucky enough to have, you know, White Cameron, you know, Kaysler, Grower. New South Wales had Titsikonis, you know, into McManus.
Yeah.
and then even down into Rickson,
Cox
into
and
Ladner.
Keevers.
You know, so it is a nasty part of the lineup.
Pop up for Rickson, who's playing first base. Monique Smith on the day. Game 1, she went 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs, including a triple and 2 singles. Grand final, 2 for 2, an RBI, 2 RBIs. So just what a day for Monique Smith.
Yeah, look, it's a, and that's what you want. This is where these are where your legacies get made. The ability to compete at the highest level, but in the biggest games. So Coach Horton has brought New South Wales together out the front. Obviously talking about the fact that it's top 3, so early days, but it's a big deficit. Has to be a real positive mindset change at the plate. At the moment, they're just letting Chelsea sort of dictate what's going on there. They've got to sort of do what they did in the last game, where they were able to string that hitting together. Shout out to the Sunshine Coast girls, Amaya Foxover, Tallulah Sivanasova, Rihanna Kemp, Talia Evans. That'd be a fair team out there at Sunshine Coast. Connell straight away swinging at the first pitch after going down, looking in the first at bat. Falls behind in the count. 2-0.
You know, she's not the fastest pitcher that we've seen, but she just has such good control. She's got good variation of speed.
Yeah, and that's a perfect example of that. That's effectively the same pitch. One goes through at 94, the next one goes through at 90. And you know who did that really well last week was Jade Peterson. She would set up those pitches and give you 2 different looks at the same pitch, but the pace would be enough and the ball spin to just knock you around.
Frost fouls that one off and nearly cleans up her own teammate, Bree Evans.
But you'd sort of, New South Wales have to have this approach at the moment. She's still throwing, you know, 65% first strike.
Good piece of the ball to the right side, but Kurihara is there, makes the play, 2 quick outs.
But it's not a matter of just trying to go out there and hit first pitch for the sake of hitting the first pitch because you know there's a good chance it's going to be a strike. It's that aggressive mindset about putting the ball into play and just constantly forcing the Queensland defence to come up with something.
Evans. Strikeout victim, her first plate appearance.
Swings a fast bat. Chelsea was up to 97 on that last up pitch. Again, looked like it was going to be the same pitch. Didn't come out exactly the same way, but a big change in pace. But Evans swings the bat real fast.
Up to 97 for Zunker.
I mean, the fastest we saw at Gillies would have been Ladner and Holden. Holden went through at 104 on one, and I remember Ladner was 103.
Yeah, Grauer through 105.
105, there you go. So she's not, you know, she's not the fastest we've seen, but she's ran the mark. But to have that type of control when you're throwing 97 is impressive. And Sorbella's just done a great job of getting the best out of her. So it's working for them at the moment. They're dominant.
6 strikeouts for Zanka, who has thrown 2 strikeouts per inning, and she has hitters 1 and 3 twice each.
Yeah. That's big. Big in a game like this.
Well, Murphy goes back to the plate. Does the bullpen action continue? Can you see that, mate?
No, Orsini's been up there twice. So, but...
Returning to the plate for a second time today is Taluga Silver.
Well, Queensland, with their tails up, 6 runs to 1. Bottom of the 3rd.
Power hitter, Silver coming up.
First pitch swinging. Evans comes across to take the catch. Frost was there in support, but Evans well placed for that one. 1 pitch, 1 out. Shows bunt. Harris, last time, hit a sacrifice fly for an RBI. Scoring Fox over.
That's what you like about Queensland at the moment. Whilst we sing the praises of how good the pitchers are and how good their hitting has been, especially with Rihanna Kemp in the middle, they've all chipped in and done their part. The Kura House sisters with their lead-offs and the base pressure that they create, as well as being really solid in the field. So far it's been a real team effort by Queensland. We talked about some of the South Australian players that we know well that have had multi-tournaments in a month. And when you consider what some of these Queensland players like, Chelsea, the pitching, Emily Solomon, you know, this is their 3rd Nationals. That's a really good shout out, Faye. Really bright future for Australian softball going forward. Full count.
Great shot by Harris out to the left side.
Harris squeezing on between shortstop and third, up to left field. Up to bat, Taylor Evans.
95 k's an hour. Drop ball there just out in front of it. Put it in the 6-5 hole in between short and third. And Queensland just keep the pressure on, not letting New South Wales a chance to settle into this game at all. 1 out. Brings Taylor Evans to the plate. From Redcliffe.
Shows bunt, it's popped up, and there's no one there. Evans has found a gap in this field as well, her counterpart Evans for New South Wales comes charging in. Shortstop Frost breaks for second base. It was a push bunt. You saw her.
Yeah.
That was deliberate.
Yeah. Yeah. Shortstop. You can get caught cheating there, trying to get to second to make sure that you're there to cover it up.
Sorbello, big cut at that one, swing and fouls it off. Yeah, you saw the deliberate attempt. She push bunt, perhaps trying to go for the middle or maybe for the right side, but it's still come off. Runners on 1 and 2, where there's 1 out. Now it's Sorbello, the catcher. If Queensland consolidate and bring these two around, the top of the order's up.
Well, Sorbello in the under-18 national final was the catcher for Zunka. Caught, had 2 hits. She scored herself and also batted in a run. So she's made positive contributions in a championship final already in the last calendar month. So here she is again.
Ground ball, Frost. She'll go for the lead runner at 3. That's a good play. 2 out.
With the shortstop there, takes out the lead runner at third, makes the second out. Into that, Morning Kuhara.
Eastern replay, hard hit ball and good defense all the way around. The catcher will come out with 2 outs. Who's the runner? The courtesy runner's 83, 8-3, Jessica Rody.
Yep.
Kuihara for the 3rd time.
Yeah, Rhodey was one of those unfortunate players that made the Australian Spirit, the team that didn't get to travel. She's been done a lot of work with Sandy Holden from the Queensland Heat. Obviously doing some catching as well as playing right field from Tigers softball at Ipswich.
Good look at Murphy, the pitcher from New South Wales. Kuihara takes a called strike. She'll go to 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's 2 out. She's had 2 hits, 1 triple, 1 single. Swings and jammed. A chance for Lorenzo and takes a good catch in the end.
The catcher makes a good ground there to get the 3rd out of the inning.
It's better for the New South Wales defence.
Yeah. They keep challenging though, making it real hard.
Well, for the first time in this game, the New South Wales defence have a scoreless inning. To 1 after 3 in the grand final. We've been going for about 45 minutes. And Sanka has not really faltered. We saw Rickson, who will lead off this inning, hit a triple in the 2nd to lead it off, and then Koneka just got her hands through the ball, pushed it to left field and scored the run. There's a view of some of the fans watching.
Some of them travelled a fair way. So good support of the girls this weekend in trying conditions.
Cold conditions as well.
Softball in May.
If they all come and watch the 23s in December later this year for the 2023 National Championships, they'll be in shorts and
don't bring
singlet.
a jacket.
Rickson to hit. Sanka, the pitcher. Just casual as you like.
Yep, just 90k rise ball. Just testing, throwing around Rickson. She's a dangerous batter to challenge.
She gets a fair piece of it. It's gone higher than it's gone longer, and should be caught out by Smith in left field.
Something tells me those two are going to be playing against each other and alongside each other in the same teams in the future. The future of some of the stars of New South Wales and Queensland.
Conacher goes first pitch and well fielded by the pitcher Sunker for the second out.
Back off in there to the pitcher who throws it over to first, picks up the second out of the innings, and into bat, Brother Murphy.
Big shout out to the Brisbane Panthers Softball Club, heavily represented here in the under-23s.
Murphy, for her second plate appearance, was hit on the leg. First time up, that front foot right on the line.
Just got a comment there, James, that whilst we've talked about the awesome story from Emily Gordon travelling over from New South Wales with her grandparents in the camper van.
Ground ball to the right side. Kurihara just slight fumbles all that Murphy needs to get aboard. There is 2 out, so the pitcher will get a courtesy runner.
That Chelsea Zonka's grandparents are in the crowd and have travelled from Bundaberg to watch her play. This must be a treat. Some very proud grandparents around the grounds today. Just an opportunity here for New South Wales. Probably the first sort of mistake we've seen the Queensland defence make. Kuriara just coming up a little bit early.
Jensen's the courtesy runner for Murphy. Lorenzo, the hitter. Called strike, outside edge. Do you think our radar's off a little? It just, to me, it looks like she's blasting these in.
No, that one there just seemed like, I wouldn't say it was a slow rise. It was 87, and I'd sort of trust that pretty good. There's definitely like that.
Jensen takes off on the pitch. She's collected by Kurihara on the way through. She's okay. She's up.
Like that pitch, that second pitch just there did seem significantly quicker and was showed 97. So
tough play from the Queensland shortstop, and
Jensen did the right thing though to break that up.
Well, they both did well to avoid contact. 2 out. Lorenzo battling. Jensen on 2, courtesy runner for Murphy. Sivana Seaver on screen. Sunker gets signals from the catcher. It's all Bello and a strikeout looking. Strikeout number 7.
Second time today.
Well, we're in the middle of the game right here, right now. Middle of the 4th. It's 6-1 in favour of Queensland. There is a little bit of a threat of a run rule. Just 2 runs away from that. So if Queensland, I'm not trying to preempt anything. I know the fight that New South Wales have in it, but if Queensland scored 2 this inning and hold New South Wales to no runs, it's an early day.
Well, the importance of winning that first semi-final today is highlighted now. Just that ability for them to use those few hours to freshen up, fine-tune their game plan, but you still need to come out and execute it, and that's what Queensland have done really well. Their offensive game's been on point all week. So New South Wales in these games just haven't been able to, at the moment, string those back-to-back hits together, which open the game up. At the moment, they're just trying to push base runners, just trying to get them there. So
Kurihara, a running bunt. And she beats it out. Runner aboard, lead-off single. Her second hit of the ball game. Went straight back to the pitcher, Murphy. And even she couldn't get it there in time. Change made. Interesting change has been made. It's been made at shortstop.
Change for New South Wales. The DP is going into 6. And the shortstop now goes to the defensive player.
The DP, Alyssa Connell, is coming into the field. And Frost has come out. Is that what happened?
yep, straight. So Queensland, again, another lead off on.
So what happens to the spot in the batting order for Frost?
She comes out.
Yeah, for who? For the flex?
Isn't that who she just replaced? That?
DP just came into 6.
Yeah.
6 has a spot in the batting order. Look, I'm sure there's some statisticians out there that understand they're all a little better than I. Rhiannon Kemp, let's focus on her. She is a machine.
Oh,
Smashes this in the alley. It's going to go to the fence. Kurihara will score. Kemp will turn 3. She can move as she hustles in and stands up. Doesn't even bother sliding. 7-1.
Well, you said before to Lana, how many triples did she hit at the Nationals? How many triples has she hit at the 23s? Kemp has just been amazing.
Absolutely astonishing to watch this player go about her work. Kurihara stoked. She knows she's the 7th run.
Yeah. And plenty of opportunity to manipulate it here at none out. Squeezes on the table. Running bunt, slap, hit and run, you name it. He's got all the tools to play with.
Smith.
That being said, the way she's hitting, you would probably do none of those and just let her hit away.
Smith, who is 5 for 5 for the day. She's behind the count here 0-2.
Aussie squad junior spirit member coming back from a serious knee injury. Been out for a few years. On the eve of the 23s, when Coach Hannison called her up and said that she'd made the team, she broke down. It was quite emotional. It's been a long journey back. She's shown the talent she's had here.
Shortstop. Holds the runner, dives back, safe, gets under the tag. Well, it's not a hit, it's a fielder's choice, but Smith's aboard.
Yeah, much better shortstop play there in in a good spot, good feet.
There's none out. Bottom of the 4th. Run rule, runner on 3rd. They still need 3 outs though. After that run rule run crosses the plate, if and when.
Well, Fox over here, I mean, as I said, anything's possible. I mean, a bunt could do it here.
1-3 split.
Yep.
She has an 2 RBI double from the 1st inning. High and in. Pick-off attempt to the runner at 3rd, allowing Smith to steal 2nd, unopposed. 1-1. Let's see how close this is on the Eastern replay.
You get this.
Fox over, RBI single. The field throws it for Smith, who slides safely into 3rd, and there's that run difference of 7. That's the magic number. But they're not done yet. No outs. Runners at the corners.
Sinavasiva, too, I was just going to say before that shot, you got the dangerous long ball hitter coming to the plate as well.
She doesn't lack a yard of pace, Murphy. Still humming them in at 97. Is it too late for another pitching change?
Oh,
She's done well to this point, but she's given up 2 important runs in this inning, Murphy.
Yeah.
High ball, out to right field. I'm not giving you a chance. Catch is made by Jensen, but it's a sacrifice fly to Sinavasiva, and the 9th run crosses the plate. That's
a great sack fly. Look, anything's possible at this stage. Yeah, go to your bullpen, go to anything, but unless they can have a real positive intent at the plate, New South Wales just can't let her get as comfortable as she's been all day. So, look, it's going to be tough from here.
Timeout called. Anthony, you won 5 premierships in a row as a coach. When you're in this position, 9-1 up in the grand final, bottom of the 4th inning, are you swinging some changes, getting everyone on the diamond to be part of it?
Yeah, at 9-1, 8-1, soon as you're in mercy sort of calculations, you put the you would put the game book away. The signal book would stop, and you'd clear the bench and try and make sure everybody gets a piece of that final part of it. It's easy to say though, because the reality is it's in your gut that you don't want to let them back in. And New South Wales, the team, is not going to stop trying to win this game, regardless of what it looks like at the moment.
Well, they have made a change. Chantel Finlay comes in for Harris. First change.
That's a good pitch. 96 drop ball. Yeah, it's a tough thing. I mean, you want everybody to be a part of it. I mean, they've all contributed throughout the tournament. But you can see here already at 1 out, or from what I've seen, that he's put the signal book away, and it's just going to be bat on ball now and just keep it simple.
We've just ticked over the hour mark of the game. Queensland with 2 runners aboard, starting to swing some changes. Just the 1 runner aboard, swinging some changes. They're 8 runs up. There's only 1 out here in the 4th. Swing and a miss. So
big cut.
Yeah, Murphy throws a strikeout for out number 2.
Part of that super impressive under-18 team that won the Nationals back in April.
Taylor Evans, the DP, pop-up, trouble. Out of reach for second base player Gordon. Out of reach for right fielder Jensen. The runner, Foxover, moves from first to third. And a single for Evans. For Sorbello, her third time to the plate. The 9-hitter fouls it off. You don't really hear of miracles in grand finals.
I'm struggling to think of an
example
of in a big game, be it a grand final or even.
Well, at Gilly Shield, there were 7 lead changes. And so both teams were just going for it, head to head, toe to toe. This has been a one-horse race.
Yeah, this has been dominance. But...
And there's no disrespect to the New South Wales team. I could only see one error.
Yeah.
The rest are all green runs. They've just been hitting the ball and...
Yeah, I mean, forgive us for harping on the point, but, you know, they have talked about the fact that it's a lot of games in a short period of time. So that's, you know, that's not easy for, you know, kids between the ages of 18 to 22. Both these teams, half their players have pretty much backed up from the Gilly Shield, which means they've been here a week.
The other half have played 18s.
Other half have played 18s. The tournament's been stop-start for them. They've had to wait around for rescheduled games. They've had to be moved onto other diamonds. So there's lots of sort of factors around whilst your performance can start to sort of drop off. I mean, I'm sure, you know, obviously everybody's trying at 100%, but fatigue is just something that you sort of, as much as you can try and combat it, the simple reality is, as I said, 4 of the 5 coaches said in the pre-game, you have to be top 2 to be a chance. And whoever wins that first one has everything in their favour, and that's exactly how it's played out.
Well, you can see that they're up and about, aren't they, the Queenslanders? They know how close they are. They've got 2 runs to play with, so they can give up a run.
Yeah, absolutely.
And standing in the way of New South Wales, which is their 8-9 hitters that are due up, is Chelsea Sunker, who has thrown 7 strikeouts in 4 innings. Just given up the 1 hit by pitch, 2 hits and 1 run. Connell, who came into the game as the DP to field, is due up 3rd batter, and she's struck her out twice. Gordon, 2nd plate appearance for her. She had a fly ball to left field, her first plate appearance.
One thing that was noticeable, though, talking with Coach Horton, though, the average age of the New South Wales team's 19. So they are young by their own standards within an under-23 comp. None of their under-18 players have come through. So, you know, that shows you the gap and depth of their youth talent. They're only going to have 1 player not eligible for the follow-up tournament in December. So, at the moment, if it plays out the way that it could, you know, they're going to learn.
The same lineup. They're
going to learn a lot from this tournament and today, especially being here. So it'll be interesting to see the process.
Gordon still got some fight in her. Fouls that one off.
Because she was talking about, like I said, had asked the question, what would be the types of things that you're looking to get from the tournament, and process was the thing, because obviously she's conscious of the fact that the team's purpose is the development of 5 stars and making sure that they're...
Kurihara, who fields deep, gets to this one, first out.
Sending players to that program and ready to challenge, and obviously, you know, further Australian duties in the future. So obviously there's a lot of teaching there for players. She was really conscious about making sure they understand what they have to do for their own physical preparation and their skills. So look, they'll be better off for the experience. Queensland so far, as I said, if it goes the way that it has, thoroughly deserved anything that comes their way. They've just offensively just been outstanding through this tournament. The heat looked good at the Gillies Shield. They just couldn't maintain the rage long enough in those periods, unfortunately. But they're not far away. And obviously the junior dominance of the under-18. So
got a pinch hitter. Caitlin Wild comes in to bat for Moore. Olivia Moore listed as the 9 hitter. Wild to pinch hit. Go round to the top of the order. There's 1 out. New South Wales fighting for their tournament life.
Thanks, Mark, for the heads up. And yes, it's a really good shout out by Selena. She's just said there that back-to-back tournaments, imagine the cost for the players and the parents and so on. So shout out to the families that are supporting their kids to play at the elite level. So
it's bat on ball, but Sunko's going to take the catch, and New South Wales are down to their last out.
And Sunker is one batter away, 1 out away from being an under-18, under-23 national pitching champion over 12 innings. It's pretty impressive.
2 titles to your name's got a ring to it as Connell.
Well, imagine if you were
swings and fouls.
Imagine if you were commentating Queensland Premier League. Every time she came to the mound.
2-time national champion. Chelsea Sunko. High for a ball. And the Queensland catcher just needs to tie the shoelace up. How about that for timing with 2 out? 1 out required for a championship. The Queensland dugout, they're all on their feet. They're at the gate. Foul ball to the right side. Well, New South Wales are down to their last strike now. Queensland on the verge of something great. Change up. Well left from Connell. The excitement from the Queensland dugout. Just trying to rein it in a little. There's some nervousness about it. Here's Sunker. High for a ball.
Still
2-2.
Still throwing Still throwing mid-90s after throwing over half the game today. So real athlete, great performance.
Pop up. Enjoy the moment. Kurihara with the catch. Queensland are your champions. Nine runs to 1. This Queensland powerhouse. We're always in control.
Yeah, super impressive performance. I mean, dominant pitching, dominant hitting, great coaching, prepared well, had the break that they needed. So,
all right, I will go out, see if I can grab a Queensland player to have a chat with. We'll wrap it up. New South Wales Gallant in defeat. It was 9-1 in about an hour and 10 minutes of play. It was all Queensland. I'm going to leave it to you to wrap. I'll see if I can catch a player.
Yeah, just wanted to say thank you to James and to Spacequake Sports for what they've done in regards to the coverage. Special thanks to all of our volunteers here at Softball SA and some of the parents and family members that have from opposition, like the interstate teams that have come out and helped in trying conditions. Biggest shout out to the grounds crew. They have just been out of this world and enabled us to get through 2 full rounds of softball in sort of tough conditions. So great tournament. Congratulations to Queensland. Well deserved. Really, really well performed in the big game. So James here, we're just trying to see if he can get one of the superstars of the tournament. Just heading over to the camera now. So he's got the captain, Rhiannon Kemp, and the winning pitcher, Chelsea Zunker. Over to you, James. Oh, still setting up.
Well, we've got Rhiannon Kemp and Chelsea Zunker here from the victorious Queensland team. Firstly, Chelsea, well pitched, 7 strikeouts. Defence was behind you the whole game. Offence made the job a little easier.
Yes, it was so good having the girls there behind me and trusting them on the bat. It was just such a good game. So proud of everyone.
Rhiannon Kemp, the captain of the team, must be proud of you girls.
Yeah, I have absolutely no words how proud I am of our girls. We've done an amazing job all last 4 days, and today just proved how amazing we are.
Well, that is true. I'll come back to you, Chelsea. At any time in the game, was there nerves from the team at all, or did you have a plan, you stuck to it? Worked well with your battery, by the way.
Thank you. I don't think there were any nerves there. Like, we all trust each other. We all obviously came through in the bat, and yeah, it was a good game.
Now, Rhiannon, you had a couple of hits earlier today. You got another hit today in the grand final as well. So seeing the ball well must be a really proud moment for you to be able to contribute for your team, considering you're the captain.
Yeah, 100%. And seeing as this is my last 23s, there's no better way to go out, really. It's just, yeah, perfect.
Well, congratulations to you both. Under 23 Joyce Leicester Shield winners. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Let's go!
Thanks, James. Great interview there with 2 of the superstars of the Queensland under 23 team. Coach Dion Johansson, who's just done an amazing job this weekend with the team, as we're just getting ready for preparations now as the under 23 Joyce Leicester Shield soon to be presented, as well as the players of the tournament. Unfortunately, we won't be able to telecast any of that, but just got James, our host, coming back to the mic. And as I said before, thank you to all of our volunteers. Special thank you to James. He's had a very big week on the tools, on the microphone, running a couple of tournaments. So hats off to you, James. Time for a rest.
Yeah, thanks, Anthony. Great to catch up with Chelsea and Rhiannon. Absolutely terrific tournament, and I do have a bunch of people to thank. To the guys at Softball SA, you've run an amazing tournament, so thank you to my team and to Spacequake Sports for bringing the best softball broadcast in the country. We hope you enjoyed watching. We'll wrap up here from the Joyce Leicester Shield. Queensland are your champions for 2022.